What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is October 31st of 2022, which of course means it's Halloween, so happy Halloween to everyone out there. If you're going to celebrate Halloween today with your family and children, have a very, very safe and enjoyable Halloween. Now, I love Halloween, but unfortunately for the channel, it signifies the 10th and a final day of the 5th annual 10 Days of Pumpkin here on the channel. And to close out this year's 10 Days of Pumpkin, I am reviewing yet another beer from the Lakefront Brewery, and they're out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And this is their Brandy barrel-aged pumpkin Imperial Ale. And this is the 2022 release. So they're calling this one an ale brewed with pumpkin and spices with vanilla added and aged in brandy barrels. And then below it lists the spices. It says contains cinnamon, allspice, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, and mace. It comes in at 10.7% alcohol by volume, 20 IBUs at the time of review. This bottle is just under 5 months old. Yes, 5 months old. And I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Lakefront for this beer. So big thanks to them for this one. I will post in the description box a link to the beer mail video I did that contains both beers they sent my way. They sent the beer for day one, which was their pumpkin lager, really good sessionable pumpkin beer, which you don't hear too often. And then they also sent this one. And this one I've been looking forward to for many years. I cannot wait to get in this one. I love brandy barrels. A brandy barrel aged pumpkin, they call it pumpkin Imperial Ale instead of Imperial Pumpkin Ale. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I'm so excited for this one. Now, when I said it was 5 months old, it was bottled on June 2nd of 2022. I think that's the earliest bottling date I have seen of a pumpkin beer, period. Early June, we're talking. Not July, early June. So whatever, hopefully everything has held up. I'm going to crack this one open. And why I crack this one open and give a pour, I want to talk about something. A viewer of the channel and a very good friend of mine, Billy, who has sent me multiple great beer mails, he gave me an idea. He said, I would love to see a recap of the 10 Days of Pumpkin this year. You know, what were your favorites, what were your least favorites, so on and so forth. So I want to kind of extend this. So huge thanks to Billy for the idea. But I was thinking about doing a live stream on a Saturday sometime in the month of November. And what I would do is actually a huge list of all of the pumpkin beers I've reviewed on my channel over the past 4.5 years, and all 10 Days of Pumpkin. I think once I'm done with this review, I think I've reviewed 57 different pumpkin beers in like 4.5 years. So I thought about doing a huge list of my favorites from all those pumpkin beers. If that sounds like something that would interest you, post in the comment section, let me know. If I get enough people that's interested in, then I would definitely do a live stream where I talk about my favorite pumpkin ales, maybe do a pumpkin beer list in general, and just have a good time with it. So let me know. Anyway, look at the pour of this beer. It has that deep, dark, like mahogany. I'd say orange mahogany type of tinge. Yeah. Maybe in certain lights looks like burgundy, but when I hold it up to light, it's just like this deep, vibrant orange. Huge particulates, and I shouldn't say huge particulates. Very fine particulates, but there's so many of them. They're suspended in animation. It's crazy. Had about a half finger of this like off-white, almost very lightly tan-colored head that is now dissipated to a thin film. Yeah, let me do a little bit of a swirl here, and see if we can get some alcohol leaks. Oh yeah, there's sheets. Tons. Everywhere. So anyway, let's get a nose on it. Yes. That brandy is screaming. It has that fruity brandy kind of feeling to it. Oh, I think this is going to be spectacular. Yeah, the brandy's there. It's mixing in with the vanilla, and it could be the vanilla from the brandy barrels, could be the vanilla that they're using in here, it could be a combination of both. There's a little bit of like an oaky, woodsy type of character as well. And then there's spice. I'm getting cinnamon. I'm getting nutmeg. Cloves as well. And then there's a nice caramelized sugars. I've said that for probably half of the beers this year that I've reviewed for 10 Days of Pumpkin. But brown sugar, caramel, toffee. There's molasses. It's sweet, rich, decadent kind of caramelized sugars. It's not very confectionery. It's sweeter and rich. I just love how the brandy barrel's playing with those spices, but also the vanilla. It's like kind of accentuating the vanilla, like the actual barrel is. I just can sit here and whiff on this. Like if, you know, a lot of times people will joke about like beers tasting like pumpkin candles, right? Oh, it smells like pumpkin candle, tastes like one. If they made a pumpkin candle out of this aroma, I would fucking buy it. Tons of them. Just tons of them. I just like that fruity brandy essence along with the base pumpkin imperial ale. This smells this up there with one of my favorite aromas this year for the 10 Days of Pumpkin. Will it taste as good? I don't know. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again to Lakefront. That's really good. Really good. I will tell you too, almost 11%. First things first. I mean, you can tell it's a barrel-aged beer, but man, is it not really boozy on the palate. I was expecting a little bit of like a astringency or like a, you know, hit me in the back of the throat. That's not the case. Let's go in for another sip. I will say, I think the body's a bit thin. This is like lower side of, this is like higher side and medium, I would say, actually. Almost 11%, bit thin. I'd like to say this lower full, maybe medium full, bit thin. The mouthfeel, this has a little less carbonation than I expected. I mean, it's carbonated, but it's like between low to moderate carbonation, but it has a nice smoothness on the palate. I was maybe hoping for a little bit more carbonation, a little bit more creaminess. So body a bit thin, mouthfeel, little undercarb, but again, much like the beer I reviewed yesterday, that's, you know, it's a small minor issue. The taste is what really matters, and it fucking tastes really good. Right at the forefront, I think the brandy barrel's imparting, there's like a nice like fruitiness, like it's hard to explain what kind of fruits I'm getting. Maybe a little bit of like a grapey kind of wine-esque, you know, like a red grape, a little bit of red grape, maybe a touch of like a red apple, but it's right at the forefront. Right after that, I almost get like caramel apples, right? Because right after that, I get like brown sugar, caramel, toffee, molasses, all those sweet, rich, decadent, malty kind of goodness you want. So that hits me, get in front of the palate. Right after that, the spices hit me. Cinnamon, nutmeg, there's a little bit of like a clove. And that's what I'm getting mostly from the spices. As it passes through the palate, the vanilla hits. It's a big pop of vanilla too. But then the actual barrel, like the oak tannins or the woodsy kind of aspect hits. So then you get more vanillins where the vanilla turns into a vanilla oak thing. That finishes on the palate. This finish is quite dry though. While it's pretty sweet up front overall, I mean, it's 11% beer. It's not overly sweet to begin with, but it's very dry on the back. This is like full on dry for sure on the finish. It's a very mild, like oak tannin kind of bitterness too, but it's more dry, way more dry than bitter. There's a huge warming in my chest, but there is no astringency on the palate, which to me is kind of mind-boggling because I would think at almost 11% there would be something that notice like a booziness on the palate, some kinds of slight astringency, something in the back of the throat to be like, hey, you're drinking 11% beer. That's not the case. It's all of a warming into the chest, which is really nice. This is a perfect nightcap. This is a great, like you want to sit down at the end of the night, just sip on this for an hour, hour and a half. And, you know, for the people out there who like smoke cigars or just kind of, you know, enjoy a nightcap, like this would be a perfect nightcap beer. You know, like some people, you know, have maybe a glass of brandy or a glass of scotch or something like that. You could be sitting drinking on this in the fall time and enjoying yourself. So this is really good. This is not my favorite of the year. And I thought it would be definitely top 3, but I don't think this is top 3 for me this year. But here's the thing. There's a lot of fucking good pumpkin beers this year because this is going to be the 4th beer, I think, the 4th beer that I'm going to rate substantially high. So I can't thank Lakefront enough for sending both of these beers, but this one is the clear winner between the two. I thought it would be. It's just fucking delicious. There's, again, they hide the alcohol relatively well. You get the brandy. You get the base pumpkin imperial ale. You get at least half of the fucking the spices. I get in the vanilla, like... Yeah, I really enjoy this one. So the Brandy Barrel Aged Pumpkin Imperial Ale, the 2022 release from Lakefront, I have absolutely zero issues giving this beer right here a straight on 4.5 out of 5. This is fucking delicious. Price and availability, I have no idea. Again, they sent them my way. If these come in 4-packs, I'd be fine with paying like, you know, $16 a 4-pack. If they came in 6-packs, $20 6-pack, I would easily pay, you know, $4 for a bottle of that. $4 to $5, I think I would. And someone's gonna probably pop in and be like, oh, dude, those are like, you know, $12 a 4-pack. I'd be like, what the fuck? Why? That's crazy. But I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass. So if you are in Wisconsin or in the Midwest, you can get your hands on Lakefront stuff and you can buy this one. If you bought this one before, let me know the price point. I'd love to know. And availability. That's another thing. I don't know what Lakefront. I'm sure they get, you know, throughout the Midwest, they probably get decent distribution. We don't see them here in the West New York area, hence why they sent me 2 bottles. And let me just say one more time, huge thanks to Lakefront. I contacted them to ask them about their distribution, about like, you know, do they get both these pumpkin beers anywhere close to me so I could take a day trip to pick them up? And they were just like, yeah, we'll send them your way. Like, that's cool as hell. So huge thanks to Lakefront. I would love to try more from them. Of course, we don't get anything from them. So yeah, I'm just happy I was able to try these two. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. And another 10 Days of Pumpkin in the book. So this was the 5th annual. Next year will be the 6th annual. This is something I plan on doing every single year going forward. Each year, though, it gets tougher and tougher to review pumpkin beers. So maybe down the line, I'll have to do some revisits and re-reviews of you know, different beers and whatnot. Next year, I think I'll probably be able to get enough that I don't have to do that. You know, enough different unique ones that I haven't reviewed. If you know of any in your neck of the woods that I haven't reviewed in the past 5 years, then let me know and I'll put them on the list. I already have a small list for next year. And yeah, I can't wait for next year. I know there's a lot of people who don't like pumpkin beers and gourd beers in general. I'm not one of those people. I fucking love them. And I love doing this every year. And I love that people watch and enjoy them as well. So one last thing, like I said at the beginning, if you want to see the live stream of a you know, pumpkin beer list from me, let me know. Again, it would be on a Saturday night. I would give people notice. So if you wanted to come and chat, you could. But if, you know, only 1 or 2 people really want to see that, and you know, I don't think enough people are going to watch to make it worthwhile, probably won't do it. But if there are people out there who are interested in it, I will totally do it and make a whole night of it. Maybe we'll do a couple hour, like, you know, list and maybe do an after party and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, huge thanks to Lakefront. Huge thanks to everybody for all of the support, especially during the 10 Days of Pumpkin. This was a blast. And yeah, I think I rated at least 4 beers this year, a 4.5 or higher. I think that's the highest, or I think this is the best year in terms of really good beers as far as pumpkin ales go. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Till the next one. Cheers. Happy Halloween.